You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
You are very welcome. I am Ahonu, and this is my lovely Aingeal Rose. And this is the second of our little episodes about downstepping from Source, the help that we need to navigate these times and to get through what we're going through. So we hope you found the first introduction helpful, which was all about
visualizing blue light, filling your aura, filling your body, and then blanketing the whole world.
Yes, and we've been doing that consistently for the last few days.
Morning and night.
And we've been noticing some very interesting developments, some very interesting peace, some very interesting
arguments.
No arguments. No arguments. But today we've got some more developments on that for you, because Aingeal Rose and I have just been into the Akashic Records, and Aingeal Rose has downstepped some very interesting little next steps for us.
Yes, Source had asked us to come back on day 4 after we visualized the blue light for 3 days, morning and night. Today is day 4. Source was talking to us about heaven, that heaven was here right now in this world. It was a state of being that we all hold within us, and it can be accessed no matter what is going on in the outer world. In fact, I had this feeling that what's going on in the outer world is below what heaven is. And so it went on to say, gave us an exercise, told us to make a list of everything we love. And that was part 1. Part 2 was begin asking to see the love in every situation. And what it meant was, if you ask to see the loving thing that's going on in every situation, no matter how it looks in the outer world, you'll get a very different picture of reality. So we sat here and we did that, and Ahonu made a list of the things that he loved. And I was looking at these trees outside, and I asked to see the love in those trees. And what happened after a few minutes was this feeling of euphoria. And the euphoria was about the life force that's in those trees, that life itself was euphoric. So I got to feel it. I felt it. It was more of a feeling than it was any kind of information. Then it went on to talk about, I asked to see the love in yesterday's political situation in our country. And what I saw was a picture of that it was Donald Trump's time to leave the White House. And it wasn't because of anything negative. It wasn't because of him not being a good president. It wasn't because of any kind of punishment. It was because it was his destiny. It was his destiny to be in it while he was in it, and it was his destiny to leave it now. Then it flipped to Joe Biden, and it showed that it was his time to be in the White House, that this was something owed him from the past, that it was his destiny to be in it now for however long he's in it. But more than that information, that itself brought peace and a different understanding, because there was no judgment in either thing. It was all about destiny. The Source went on to say that we have to remember that souls have destinies. Every soul, every one of us has a destiny. And those destinies are designed as opportunities for fulfillments. And what you do with them is what you do with them. But it said that's what's really going on in the world, is everybody's in their own destinies. There's an order to this, and there's a higher law to this. So we need to get out of our opinions and judgments about what we think is going on in the world. So when Source asks us start asking to see the love in every situation. And it does mean every situation, no matter how it looks. It's because it'll show you the higher thing that's really going on. And that thing is always not about judgment, not about punishment, not about blaming or who's right and who's wrong. It's about destinies. And you'll get a great understanding if you do what it says. So this is our next lesson. Write down the things you love. And part 2 is make it your intention to see the love in everything, because Source made it really clear that if you don't ask to see the love in every situation, then you have a different motive for your reality.
So normally we would take a lot of notes, and you can see I've been writing these notes on a napkin, but we would take what we call profound statements out of these things. But there's only one from this today, and that is that destiny is our opportunity for fulfillment. So let's just recap what we're asking ourselves to do and you to do, which is to make a list of the things that you love, of the events in your life, or indeed negative events also. Just make a list of them. And what was the other thing?
Well, the first part was to make a list of everything that you love. And the second piece of information is because everything we experience are destinies in our lives. That you could go back to any situation that you've gone through in your life that you may interpret as negative or positive, for that matter. And you can ask, what was the love in that situation?
Right.
Okay, and you'll be shown the love that's underneath the surface in that situation, or the destiny that was in it. Just remember, it's never about fulfilling any kind of negative karma. It's never about punishment or judgment. It's always about that there's love there. And what is the love? Like, there's reasons why you would go through something for some greater understanding or some fulfillment. And you'll be shown that if your intention really is to ask what the love is in the situation.
So remember that no matter how it looks on the outside, every soul is manifesting its own destiny. So we will be reconnecting with you again in the very near future to progress this whole discussion and this whole downstepping.
Yeah, probably be 4 or 5 days from now. So until then, leave us your comments or your questions, and we'll be here.
Super. Until then, thanks and bye-bye.
Bye.